Before I start this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my boy Peace Knowledge, aka Chutebox. He's the one that helped me in this video. He's also hosting a $1,000 tournament later this month, so go check him out. His links will be in the description of this video. I'll also plug them into the screen right now. But yeah, today we're going to talk about 5 secret transitions you probably didn't know about in UFC 4, so let's get right into it. Alright, so the first move I want to talk about is how to stop the clinch animation every single time. This can be useful against people who like to clinch spam or people who are just looking to do damage to you in the clinch, such as the unblockable uppercuts or the knees. There are 2 ways you can stop this. The first way is you can throw it straight as they're going for the clinch, which to me is the most useful way because it stops the animation and it does quite a bit of damage to the head. The other way you can do it is by slipping to the inside and throwing to the body or the head. This one's also a good way to avoid getting put in the clinch because you can slip on the inside and either throw a quick combo to the body or head. But you also have to be careful because if you mistime it, you can get put into that tie whip position in which they can throw the knees to your head or the body, and they could also do that unblockable uppercut as you're exiting out, and that could also do damage to you. So you just got to be careful and time it perfectly. Alright, so the second move I want to talk about is how to stop the submission drain cheese. Players such as MMA do this cheese on ranked, and I'm going to show you guys how to stop it. In case you don't know what the submission drain is, it's when your opponent keeps going for submissions until you have no stamina. You mostly see this cheese with jiu-jitsu fighters or calves, and the most common position for this cheese is top mount. So you can see here, I keep going for the submissions and canceling it after it gets locked in over and over, and you can see not only does it drain my stamina, but it also drains my opponent's stamina. Alright, so most people think that the best way to stop this cheese is by denying the submission over and over, but it's really not the best way. Yes, you lose less stamina for every transition you deny, but you can still see that your stamina still goes down even though you denied the transition. And the person doing the cheese, you know, they won't stop. Even if they're drained, they won't stop. So they're just going to keep going until you're drained as well. And I'm going to show you guys the best way to counter this right now. Alright, so the best way to counter this cheese is by holding R2 and then holding your right stick up as you're doing the submission. This is the best way because as you can see, when you do the R2 and then right stick up, your stamina bar pauses, but your opponent's stamina still goes down. And if you keep doing this over and over, eventually their stamina will be drained and your stamina will still be full. So when they're drained, you can either just go for a get up or you can just move to the left or right to get a better position. Alright, so the third move I want to talk about is the stack guard interception, and what I mean by interception is that you can intercept your opponent's stack guard transition with your own transition and you'll always win. So if you see your opponent going to stack guard a lot, this trick is definitely the most useful one to gain advantage on the ground. So when your opponent goes for stack guard, you can either move left, right, or down, and you'll always win that position whichever one you choose. So when your opponent is committing the stack guard, you can do the half guard sweep, you could go for the arm bar, you can do the bottom get up, you could go for the triangle choke, you could go for the omoplata, and you could go for the bottom half guard sweep. This only works when your opponent is committing for the stack guard transition, because if your opponent goes for the posture up, they'll win the position every single time and they'll be able to posture up and land damage or get up or whatever they want to do. And if they go for the get up, they'll just have enough time to deny your transition. The only reason why you don't have enough time to deny when you commit to stack guard is because you're only using half of your transition bar, whereas your opponent is using their full transition bar, which is why when you go for the stack guard and your opponent goes for a reversal, a get up, or a submission, they'll always win that transition. It's because the stack guard only uses half of the transition bar. Okay, so the fourth move I want to talk about is the undeniable armbar from back mount. This trick only works when you're going for an armbar and your opponent goes for the backseat transition that pops up after you go for the armbar. This is a good way to catch your opponents off guard, and you could get a submission off if you deny them a couple of times before doing it. And when you go for the armbar and your opponent goes for the back sitting transition, it will move you into back sitting, but the transition will still continue, so it will move into a back sitting armbar, and it's just completely undeniable because the bar is already full, and no matter what, even if you pre-deny it or you think you denied it or anything, you will not deny this transition. You can do this trick with both sides of the armbar. You could either do it from the left transition or the right transition, but if you don't want to fully commit to the armbar but just want to get that back sitting transition, you can try and bait it out by faking the armbar from either side and just hope that your opponent will go for the back sitting transition. That way the armbar won't continue and you have options to either go for the rear naked choke, go to top mount, or move to backside. And last but not least, the fifth and final move that I'm sure almost nobody knew about is a feet on hips knee bar. To pull this off, your opponent will have to go for the half guard sweep from bottom feet on hips, and all you have to do is hold out 2. And as soon as you see them going for the sweep, you move your right stick to the knee bar submission that pops up. Again, this only works if your opponent is going for the half guard sweep, in which most people will try to deny. This is also a good counter to it, and it's a good way to catch them off guard. Keep in mind, not all fighters will have the knee bar submission from feet on hips. Only the fighters with level 3 leg locks will be able to do this transition. This transition is also good because if you keep going for the transition, your opponent will kind of get stuck in that animation and it will make them lose their stamina while you keep your stamina high. So if you keep moving your right stick to the knee bar transition, this will happen and eventually it will lock in and you'll have a much higher stamina than your opponent, and that's an easy submission win. So yeah, those were 5 secret transitions that you probably didn't know about in UFC 4. Again, huge shout out to my boy Peace Knowledge. He helped me out with this video. His socials will be linked in the description below. And I hope you liked this video. Hopefully this was a useful video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also leave a comment on any video suggestions you'd like to see. Peace.